I've taken Jack swimming in the pool a couple of times, and so now when we go past anywhere near the pool, he's super focused on that, not really wanting to go with me. I've used food luring to an extent effectively to mitigate that a little bit. The question is, as we go forward in the process and we add pressure, is this something that I'm going to be able to progress beyond what I'm able to do right now, or is this just something that it's a competing motivator, he's not going to care about, he's so enthusiastic about swimming in the pool, it's just like, you know, whatever, I'm just going to deal with it.
So there's two, you bring up a couple of points in there. One is, with those sorts of things, I have a tendency not to manage those things with food except outside of little puppyhood kind of stuff, right? So there's a point when we use food lures and not so much luring as redirection, like getting the dog to turn away from something, it's usually as a form of socialization and management, right? I go, okay, you don't pay attention to that, pay attention to this, because I'm afraid you're going to rehearse some kind of bad behavior around that, meaning you're going to bark at that thing or get scared by it or whatever it is, right? And so most of those kinds of things, I just deal with like, no, we're going this way, right? Right from the beginning. So my puppy now is 12 weeks old, and I just habituate him to a slip lead. He hasn't done leash pressure, he hasn't done any of that stuff. But I walk by something and he wants it, and it's not something he's afraid of, then I go, come on, let's go. And I just drag him past it, right? And then he comes along with me, and sometimes I'll give him a piece of food for having left it and followed me. But I'm going, no, we're going by. You're not doing that right now. That's not for right now, kind of thing. And I'm not super harsh about it, but I'm just sort of insistent. A little like we were talking about getting in the car kind of stuff yesterday. It's like, no, you're going to get in the car. You know what this is. You're going to get in the car. Yeah, I know you want to go over there, but we happen to be going this way, kind of thing. We deal differently with dogs that are showing lots of signs of apprehension, right? So if my dog is stressed, then the additional pressure of doing that, I mean, I have a choice in certain circumstances. Sometimes your dog's stressed, they won't take a reward, you have to get past something or out of something, and you just go, we're going, right? And you make them do it. But the ideal thing is, if your dog's stressed, is to provide them with a positive experience in relation to that thing. But this is just something he wants. This is a competing motivator, a distraction, whatever. He's like, yeah, I want to go in there. And you're like, now's not the time, so you're coming with me, right? And that's usually the way I deal with it. Even having done leash pressure and things like that, I just go, we're going.
Okay, so when you talk about even having done leash pressure, what are you walking your dog on? I mean, if you're walking him on a harness, for example, then would you...
I just drag him. I go.
You drag him, okay.
And he goes, ah, and he comes with me, and I go, oh, hi, look at you, right? Literally, I like, come on, let's go, we're going, right? And just, we're going. Now, you're sort of at a spot where, because of wanting to run through the steps of the program at a certain point, you're doing things with an older dog that we would have resolved a long time ago, right? So this stuff would have been done relatively early in our process, ideally. The idea that even though we're not formally using the leash to create behavior and things like we're going to talk about next week, I'm saying, hey, if I'm going this way, I don't care if you want to go or not, right? It's one of those things with puppies. We don't do leash pressure proper, where I concentratedly teach you to move with the leash, but I have a leash on my puppy balks and doesn't want to go, and I go, drag my puppy a couple steps, and when puppy stands up and walks, I go, oh, look at you, yay, what a good dog, right? And they're going to learn that pretty quickly, like, oh, when you do that, go, right? And unless the dog is really, really stressed, so like I look at the dog's level of stress around those kinds of things too, right? And so I put a leash on my puppy yesterday, a leash on his neck for the first time at 12 weeks. He's not had anything on his neck, right? No collars, no nothing. Yeah, I just threw a slip lead on him, right? And I put it on him and let him drag it around while I did a little food stuff, and then I picked it up and I pulled it tight just for a second to see how he's going to react. Lots of Malinois flip out, are common for having very strong reactions the first time you put a leash or collar on them. They don't like that. But he was pretty much like, what's that? Scratch, scratch, hop around, follow me. Yay, okay, whatever. And so today I walk him through the room for the second time he's had the leash on. And he wants to go say hi to somebody. I block him with the leash and I give him a little tug back and we go the other way. So when I talk about not having the dog pull on the leash and stuff when they're young, and managing that stuff, I'm not talking about never having the leash go tight, never giving the dog any feedback with the leash or any of that. I'm talking about not rehearsing that constant tension on the leash, pulling you around kind of stuff that people do. You know, you say that to somebody and somebody's out there, you watch somebody walking across the room with the leash tight, constantly like tension on the leash, the dog's moving forward. All those kinds of things are bad news. Those things build stronger opposition, they desensitize the dog's neck, but every dog is going to pull, he's going to want to go somewhere, and I'm not letting him. He's a puppy and he wants to go leap on Gary. I stop him right here. He takes a flying leap and he hits the end of the thing and does a backflip and lands on his back. And I stopped him from jumping on him. And I go, hey buddy, over here. And then I give him some food when he comes to me and off we go. So it's not that we never block behavior or never use the leash. We're not in a concentrated way trying to create behavior with the leash, and I don't want to kind of be out there all the time practicing it. So if it's not something that you want to pay attention to and manage at a certain point, or you're going to go for a long walk, I'm not going to take him for a long walk on a slip lead right now, because he's going to start pulling if I go for a long walk. I can move him through here out to go to the bathroom and I can kind of follow him around and I stop him and get him to go this way but he doesn't pull me the whole way. But if I go for a mile walk with him, he's going to be out at the end of the leash jamming around. And that's what I put a harness on for, not for moving him from point A to point B in those little spots. I'll still have a slip lead or some collar on the dog or those kinds of things. Just avoid the kind of constant pulling of those things. And the sooner these things are done kind of subtly, right? We talk in our classes about working through, especially we'll talk about it next week, working through something that your dog doesn't want to do, right? And so as much as possible when we're teaching our dogs to do new behaviors, we're setting up recipes for success. I'm going to teach you to go into your crate, so I'm throwing food in the crate, and you're going into the crate, right? And I start by coming up to the crate, throwing food in, letting him see it go in, holding him back, say, you want that, don't you? You want that? Go on, go in there. And he dives in there and eats his food, right? And I do a lot of throw the food in, go get it, throw the food in, go get it, throw the food in, go get it. Then I go away from there, and as I'm leaving the crate, taking him out, I throw food in as I'm walking away. So the next time I come back, there's food in there already, and he doesn't see me throw the food in, but I come running right up to it and I go in there. And I'll go shove and push him from behind and stuff him in there. And he'll go like, oh, look at that, magically there's food in there. Even though you pushed me in, it's in there. And so there's a little bit of this where your puppy or young dog will balk going up to the crate or something like that. Even though you've been feeding him in there and all that kind of stuff, he's like, yeah, right now I want to do something else. I don't feel like going in there. And I'll grab him and go stuff, and I'll push him in, right? And then once he's in there, I'll throw him food or whatever the heck it is and that kind of thing. But you deal with these little mini rebellions as they come up too. I don't want to go through life not having that happen and then have a major meltdown that I have to fight through. So there's lots of those little things. The puppy wants something and he wants to jump up at something. I grab him and stop him. Say, don't do that right now. And I hold him off of that and I go, hey, let's go do this instead. And so there was some like, yes, I want that. No, you can't have that. No, I don't want to do that. Well, tough luck. No, you don't want me to put you in your crate. You're going in your crate. And it's not, I don't look to make these things happen all the time. And I want more kind of reward-based reps around those things than not. But those things are going to happen to you, and you just have to kind of resolve them in the moment. If you come up there and the dog fights you and you back off and go, oh, okay, you don't want to go in here, then the dog, you just reinforced fighting you, right? And so there's those little spots where your dog's going to balk at something or pitch a little mini tantrum, and I'm going to say, sorry, this is just the way it is, right? I like it when I'm expecting those things to happen, right? And so I'm sort of mentally prepared to make sure that it goes right. I stay calm and I handle it properly. But life sometimes throws those things at you when you're not expecting them. There are places we can expect them. There, like if you hang out with a dog, you know there's going to be certain spots. I'm going to come up to a doorway and my dog's not going to want to go through. He's like in here. So my puppy already frequently comes in here and all the food stuff happens in here. So I go to take him out the back door, and he goes, puts on the brakes like, no, 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 we'll stay in here where all the food stuff. I know nothing happens out there. You go out there and just walk me around and don't give me anything because I want him to go to the bathroom, right? And so he's figured that out. And in 2 weeks, he's like, out there, not very interesting. In here, very interesting. So I go to the back door, and he goes, and tries to turn around and go back into here. He doesn't want to go out there. He wants to stay in here. And I go, nope, come on. I block him with the leash, and I pull him, and he goes through, and go, hey, how about that? Good for you. And then I close the door, and off we go. So there was a little mini resistance there that I broke through. What we talk about is like deliberately using a prong collar or a training collar to create leash pressure stuff. We don't do that. But for your guy, for sure, at his age, and even a dog that's much, much younger, I'm going to go, yeah, I know you don't feel like walking past the pool. You want to get in the pool. Sorry, that's not what we're doing right now. We're going past the pool, right?